No, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Shoki Kandjimi. I am a communications and public relations practitioner by profession with about a decade of experience. I serve currently as the Communications and Stakeholders Officer here at the Petrofund. This is the first time that Petrofund has established a Communications and Stakeholders Engagement Office. So basically mine is to definitely to create brand awareness, to create more awareness of what we offer here at Petrofund, and also basically to engage our stakeholders. As you know, the oil and gas industry is really growing. There's quite a lot happening, and I think we play quite a big role also in the whole industry, and that's why they really had to create this office for someone to really spearhead some of these communications activities, some of the stakeholders engagement activities. So in a nutshell, that's what I do, to really communicate what we do here in terms of our scholarships, institutional development that we do, and also just to how we assist Namibians to prepare for the oil and gas sector as it develops. So the government of the Republic of Namibia really thought very boldly after independence when it established the Petroleum Training and Education Fund. They had already that vision that Namibia would one day discover oil and gas in the country. So already we set up that body, which is now Petrofund, to really create some sort of skills development so that when the sector really emerges, or it is taking place as we speak, we do have Namibians who can actually offer their expertise in the different fields that is required for this sector to develop. So basically Petrofund is here on three things that I always like to say, or two. One would say is basically to offer scholarships. So what we do here, we have different kinds of scholarships. We start off with a secondary school scholarship where we assist learners who are starting their high school from grade 8 till 12, who really have a strong interest in STEM fields. That's now your science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and so on interest. So we really assist them with a full scholarship until they complete. So we are also hoping that they will really take up courses that are related to oil and gas. And then of course we do have undergraduate scholarships, so be it local, be it in South Africa or SADC related universities, where we really fund students for their first degree, be it in engineering, be it in geology. There are quite a lot of fields that this sector requires. And then we also do masters also in Namibia, for those ones who also have an interest to study oil and gas related courses, be it in Namibia, be it also in SADC, or even beyond. We have students currently studying in the UK, and also some students also studying in the US. Previously we also had students also studying in France. So really we look at universities that offer quality educations with oil and gas related courses that are really needed for Namibia, that are perhaps not offered in Namibia and beyond. And also institutional development. Of course, we are also there to train our officials, be it from the ministries. We want them to be really prepared. The industry is developing, so when it comes to regulatory issues, we want them to be prepared on how to regulate the industry, because a lot of people are coming to Namibia, but we also need to have the necessary capacity within our different, let's say the Ministry of Mines and Energy, or even NAMCO, or any other agency really that is playing a role in terms of the oil and gas industry. So that's also institutional planning. Then capacity development, also some of these officials are also capacitated in different areas that we really deem it fit. We currently are rolling out the safety related training, which started off last year. So we are also moving towards developing it this year, so that really people are really prepared to know when you go to a rig, what happens. You need to know what are the activities on how to prevent or how to protect yourself when you're on a rig and so. Of course, like you said, really the sector is emerging. There's quite a lot happening. I think when you look at what has been happening so far, many international giants are coming to Namibia, be it from a service provider's perspective, or be it from an operator perspective, or even people who are into research. Perhaps people are also coming to Namibia. So when you look at the skills that are needed, what we do as Petrofund is we continuously engage the stakeholders, our partners, to really see, especially the operators, the service providers, because ultimately these are the people that will employ Namibians who have an interest in the oil and gas sector. So what we have come to realize is that, engineering courses are quite critical. The different kinds of engineering, there are quite a lot. But of course, you can mention chemical engineering, mechanical engineering. You also look at geologists, geophysicists, and all that. They are also needed. They're quite critical, especially in the exploration campaigns that are ongoing in our country. And then you also look at TVET. TVET is quite also important. Really, we have also for the first time introduced TVET related scholarships, where we took some of Namibians to Angola and Indonesia, really to get the necessary skills in terms of welding, in terms of pipe fitting, and on all those programs. We are also looking at cadets. They're quite important also now. We are also looking into a new scholarship is now also going to be announced very soon, in terms of where we need boiler makers, welders, and all that. There's quite a lot, but of course we always publish this list so that Namibians who want to take part or participate in this sector are really well acquainted. So we will really urge them to follow our pages and also our website to get updated on that. So from our side, really what we would say one of the biggest challenges is the fact that we don't have an oil and gas training center in Namibia. I think that's a challenge, because nowadays everyone is standing up trying to create courses, just to say that no, it's oil and gas related and all that. Or there are also no programs that are needed in the industry that are offered in Namibia. So we are now forced to spend a lot to send people out of the country. But we want to see how we can harmonize that, to see by coming up with a training center, so that really some of these courses are offered here in Namibia, so that we don't take money outside our shores. So basically that's one of the major challenges, and I think the Honorable Minister of Mines also highlighted that recently. So what is happening now, or how we can really implement that, is through stakeholders engagement. We believe that we need to constantly engage our stakeholders to see how we can perhaps select one of the universities, or maybe a TVET institution, to really set up the center there. We don't want to create new centers. We can make use of existing institutions of higher learning that are here in Namibia, that we can really capacitate and really come up with different programs that are really related to the petroleum sector. So that is why we believe that through stakeholders engagement with your line ministries, the Ministry of Higher Education are quite critical, Ministry of Mines, you look at the service providers, you look at operators, they also have quite good capacitated people that can also come and share their knowledge. So we believe through that we can really build a training center. So of course, local content is quite important, and that's also where we play a critical role through our normal services. Because when we speak of Petrofund, we speak of scholarships, we speak of institutional development, we speak of capacity building. Those are three critical areas that Petrofund really plays a role in. So through that's how we build the local content in Namibia. Because before you are employed by an organization, you need the necessary skills. So how do you get the skills? Through an educational institution. How does Petrofund comes in? We fund you. We provide 100% scholarship, where you don't have to worry about your accommodation, the tuition fees, your meals, and all that. Your focus should just be on education, so that you're well prepared to go and participate in the oil and gas industry. So that's one. Secondly, like I said, capacitating our people, be it our officials really, from a government perspective, they also need to constantly be capacitated so that they also have a role to play, because we don't want to always rely on international expertise. We want to rely on our own expertise, because we have a different case, we have a Namibian case, and we need to develop our people so that they can be able to manage the Namibian case. So stakeholders engagement remains key to us. We have really built good relationships with the different stakeholders within the industry. I think one good example that I can really point out is that of when we managed to speak to some of the service providers and operators to really strengthen the geology school at the University of Namibia. Today it's in the south, it's now having some of the best equipment thanks to this engagement that we have been having. So due to that engagement that we facilitated as Petrofund, today really one can see that the geology school is really doing well. It's doing its job to really prepare our people, and they are really close to where these activities are taking place. You know, when you look at be it being in Keetman, so a few kilometers before you drive to Ludwig's, get to a boat, or perhaps also fly to the closest rig that is available, and you conduct your activities. So these are some of the things that we are doing to ensure that really our educational institutions are also capacitated or have the necessary resources to really conduct their work. Also, like we said, if we really move forward in the dream of having a training center, this will be some big major achievement for Namibia, because then through that institution we can really offer different courses within the petroleum sector that will be really impactful for our industry as it grows. And really what we're also planning to do is to really work with institutions of higher learning to see how can we conduct research. I think research is becoming quite very important. When you look at the announcements by one of the operators recently, you know, if we had done research, we could not be having what we're having today. But I think if we continue to do research as some of these wells are being drilled and all that, I think we will have better evidence in terms of the hydrocarbons that are being discovered in the different basins that are being explored at the moment. So I think through research we can really work together with the education institutions. So we'll see how we can fund them if finances become available. I think you know, not many people are so much aware of Petrofund. And this is where I come in as a communications specialist here at the fund, really to create more awareness of what we offered. You know, I spoke of those three elements which are quite critical to Petrofund, which is scholarships, which is capacity building and institutional development. So we need to now create different campaigns to really inform our people that there are these opportunities, because there are questions out there. Okay, what do we do to prepare our Namibians for this emerging industry? Of course, we need to send them to schools. You know, some of them have the basic already, maybe in engineering, but to specialize, you need to go and study perhaps a master's degree at one of the prestigious universities globally. So we are there now to fill that gap as Petrofund. So we need to create awareness in terms of when we announce the scholarship opportunities, we need to look at different aspects. So what we'll be doing is to go out in the communities, at the schools, you know, because those are our most important people, those are our target audience, the learners, because while they're already preparing from grade 9, we need to already inform them, look, we have these scholarship opportunities, and you need to score at least more than 40 points, let's say, for instance, for you to be eligible for this scholarship. So if you already entice them about these opportunities, they will work towards that. So really, school visits will be central to us. Of course, using trade fairs and all that will be big. But one of the biggest one that we are really working on is brand positioning Petrofund. So we are currently really working towards that. In the coming months, we'll be launching something exciting and something very new. Thanks to the board of trustees and the management, really they have approved the whole idea of how we want to position Petrofund, so that really people know about it and they are able to ask questions, and also maybe if they need assistance one way or the other, and if Petrofund is really able to assist, then of course there are also platforms of how they can approach us, and we want to create more awareness. Of course, using your normal platform, social media, of course you can see quite a lot is happening on social media or digital platforms as a whole, but of course community engagements still remain important. Word of mouth is one of the powerful tools in marketing. So we want to continuously maximize on any opportunities that are available within the communications and marketing space. We want to just inform the public that there is a statutory body called Petrofund of the government of the Republic of Namibia that is here for Namibians. So Namibians should not feel like there is no support. We are here to support. Of course, yes, it might be limited funding, but just work your way up to get to this scholarship, to be granted a scholarship, and really get to participate in this sector. Quite a lot is happening. There's a lot of opportunities, and you can learn quite a lot for your country. So we just want to inform them that we are here to ensure that really Namibians are capacitated for this emerging industry. We are here to ensure that we have the necessary skills force as a country to rely on. We don't want to only rely on international expertise, but there must be a balance in terms of the expertise that we'll be having as we go towards the production stages of our oil and gas. No, it's just to say thank you for the platform and just to encourage people to really follow our pages and our website to really get updated in terms of what we have to offer. Yes, you might see some changes coming through in the coming months. Definitely just keep on keeping your eyes on these platforms. You don't know, your brother and sister might benefit from these programs that we offer. Thank you.